Hi, boss.
How are you today?
Good. Except I'm waiting to see if this dog...
It looks like he's going to.
No.
He was barking inside, so we had to bring him out with us. He does not like to hear us outside without him.
So today we're going to explain a couple of our subscribers have asked about doing mole treatment. What we do, what we use. We do two methods of using mole treatment. There's one that's a little cheaper, and then there's one that's a lot more expensive but more natural. And that is the we use Mole Scram. I think you got it off of Amazon, right? If you order 10 buckets, you get a good deal on it.
Yes, actually, if you buy it in bulk, 10 plus, it went down to like $60 something.
So this is pretty much, it has castor oil, citronella oil, garlic oil, peanut hulls, and it says other, no, that doesn't say it. So total 100%. So it's not going to hurt if you put it on the ground for any pets or anything.
Right, and that is the reason why a lot of our clients actually have been requesting this over the other method.
And so if you're consistent with applying this, it works a lot better than the other methods at repelling them, because it doesn't kill the moles, it just repels them off to the neighbor's yard, which might not be good for some people.
Yeah.
Might make the neighbors mad. So it says this covers 16,500 square feet. I put it on heavier, so I would use this bucket on about 10,000 square foot because it helps more. And what it does is it coats the worms, makes them undigestible for the moles.
Yeah.
So the way we do it, for the first initial application, you have to put 3 apps down. So one bucket covered, like we said earlier, covers 10,000 square foot. It says 16, I use it 10,000 square foot. So if you have a 5,000 square foot yard, you're gonna need a bucket and a half of this, so you'll have to buy 2 buckets. So as a homeowner, it's $120, maybe $30. And if a lawn care person or an applicator is putting it down, they're going to have to charge a little more for that to do the applications, because you got to go out 3 times in the initial first round of applications. So say we had moles in this area, all up here, and that's your border over there. Say the roadway, the driveway edge is your border, and you want to push them out there, and say there's none right here. So your first application of this, you could come in here and you cover from about 20 feet into where they are not, and then you go into their space to try to push them out further out of the yard, because that's what you're doing on the first initial application. You want to push them further. And then the second app, what I do, and the first app goes down, and you got to do it before it rains or have the customer water it in, because it's not going to work. The second app you do in 3 days, and you come out here and then you put it in the same area here, and then you put it all over in their whole area. And you might notice there's more mole holes when you first do it, so don't worry about that. So after the second app goes down, that should start to drive them out into the next space over there, like past the driveway, into your neighbor's yard, which I'm pretty sure some people won't like, but what are you gonna do? You don't want them in your yard. So then after that 30
Hopefully
days,
you can push them into a wooded area.
into the woods or somewhere, but normally everybody has houses around. So now the third app, you come back in 30 days, and what I do is I apply it to the whole yard. The third app, and then it's not guaranteed, but because moles are pesky, but more than likely they're all going to go out. Everything's soaked in the ground, the worms are coated, they're not going to want to eat that anymore. And another thing, people think if you get rid of all the grubs, you're not going to have moles. That's absolutely not true, because moles like earthworms, and they eat the worms and the grubs. So just keep that in mind if somebody tells you.
And where did you learn that information, Happy?
From the North Carolina pesticides and herbicides school we went to.
When
get
you
our
got
license.
licensed.
So check your state too, because in our state we're allowed to use the worms. In North Carolina, you have to check your state, and you might have to be licensed. I'm pretty sure you don't if you're doing it as a resident yourself, because I think they sell it in Home Depot.
And you have to make sure it's not a certain type of mole.
Yes,
in
the
some
star-nosed mole here in North Carolina, you're not allowed to kill.
Right.
So, and that's further
So,
out to the
and that's
east.
why it's good to use the Mole Scram versus
Yes, and
the worms.
Yeah, it'll push them out. So after that's done, your first initial at 3 apps within 30 days, and make sure they're all watered in for it to work effectively. You should see a lot of your moles pretty much gone, and they'll be in the neighbor's yard. Now, to keep them out, fortunately, you have to apply this every 30 to 45 days all through the year. So that's where it can get expensive, because you're looking at, if you have a 5,000 square foot lawn, and when you do it every 45 days, you only have to do the whole perimeter of your property.
To keep them out.
Yeah, the whole border of your property all the way around to keep them from coming back in. So I would do like a 20-foot buffer all the way around your property just to keep the moles from coming back in your yard. And you do that every 45 days. So for a whole treatment, if you have 5,000 square feet, you're going to want to probably end up using 5 buckets throughout the whole year, you know? So that's 5 times whatever it costs for a bucket. So you're talking $300-400 just for the materials. And if you're doing it yourself, if a landscaper is doing it or somebody else licensed is doing it, you're talking about a lot more than you could talk about 1,000 or more for a 5,000 square foot lawn all year long.
Now, could you just give us an idea of what the mole mounds would look like before the treatment, and how do you know that it's working?
After it's done raining, you will see your mole mounds in your yard. They'll be fresh, usually all pushed up in your yard. If you have a lot, it'll look like a
soft.
Yeah,
you
it's
can
really
step on it
and squishy. And then once you start treating them tunnels will start to get hard, and you shouldn't see any new tunnels appearing. And this stuff does work if you put it down heavy, because if you put it down light and try to skimp, it's not going to work for you. The other method you could use, which is way less expensive, you're a lot less expensive. You can use the worms, and I'm not going to pull them out of the package because I don't have gloves or anything on, but you can use these worms, Talprid, I think it's called, Talprid, I don't know the name of it. I see it, but so you can use these worms, and what you do is you find the active tunnels, the surface tunnels, and you find the most active ones, and you poke a hole down there, and you put these worms all throughout the yard, and make sure the worms all the way down in the tunnel, and then lightly cover up the hole that you poked. And you can use 10, 20 worms if you need to throughout the yard. If you don't have to use that many, then you don't. If you only have like 4 active mole holes, I would, every 10 feet in that active, I would put a worm down in that hole. And what this does is it kills the worms. And just make sure your pets your pets usually aren't going to dig into the hole to get the mole. It's dead in the hole.
But if your pets do dig to go after the moles,
you might not want to do this, you might want to do that one.
Right.
So I haven't heard of dogs everywhere eating these worms.
I know,
but just to be safe.
Yeah.
If you have pets that are going to be in a backyard or something, maybe use this in the smaller area, and then put the worms down in the front yard where your pets aren't going to be.
Right.
And this kills the moles, completely kills them, and they should stay away for a while, because I think they're territorial, and you don't usually have many coming back into the yard. If they do, you do the treatment again, and you can order these online too, or get them from a local landscape store.
Yeah. If
you're a homeowner, if you are a professional, you need to have a license to do it, to put these down.
If you're getting money,
yes.
If it's monetary gain when you are applying these to somebody's yard, then yes, you need to be licensed.
Yes. Any herbicides. Some states allow you to put just fertilizer down without any kind of pre-emergence in it.
Yeah.
Just check your local laws.
Yes, go onto your extension. It's very easy. It's like yourstate.gov or whatever, and it will give you all the information that you need.
And make sure you're allowed to use the worms. If not, make sure you can use another product that you have in your state that allows you to use the worms. Allows you to use another product that I'm not sure of.
Right.
We've been tending to use this a lot. I haven't used the worms this year yet, but I think this gets so expensive for people when you do a treatment for them that if they don't have pets, I'm gonna get them to use the worms.
Right. And again, we have offered both options to clients, and the clients that we offered both options to did go with the Scram because they have pets. So,
yeah, so it is a little more expensive. And if it's windy, sorry about the wind in this video.
Yeah, hopefully it's not windy. I tried to get close to Carl when cars or something were going by.
Yeah, so We don't have moles on this side of the yard, so I won't put anything down.
Yeah, no, we're not worried really about moles. We're not.
Yeah,
we live on a farm and we're trying to grow
and the only part,
vegetables organically.
This is the only side that I'm experimenting with spraying for the
right.
weeds and stuff like
everything
that.
else, you know, we just
everything else we just let it go.
Well, thanks for watching.
Please like and comment and subscribe, and if you have any questions still, just put them in the bottom of the video and we can answer them the best we can.
And we have had other companies and subscribers tell us that they actually use traps and which traps have been effective, but we again haven't, because a lot of people don't want to deal with having dead moles on their property. They would rather just
sticking up everywhere.
Right, they would rather just repel them. So but comment below. We like to hear what you guys are using.
And have a happy night.
Have a happy night. Say bye, Melly. Have a happy night.